welcome back. Back on the 50 Dodge Flathead. I got a playlist going in this. I'm doing a whole build on the engine. Boring, honing, resizing the rods. I put seats in them already. I just finished the surface video today. I'm going to get that dropped for you guys. So we're going to resize these. I'm going to take the bolts out, press them out. I'll show you that. We got new bushings for them. New pin bushings. Let's go on the end of the rod, support the pin. And I got some specs here. Let me bring you down here. So I use AERA for my specifications. I'm a member, the Engine Rebuilders Association of America. Great company, a lot of info. I don't even know how. You know, occasionally something's wrong, obviously, out of all the millions of specifications they have. But this tells me everything I need to know about doing these rods. It tells me the big end housing bore, 167 and 5/10 to 168. So they give us a half a thou tolerance in there. We're going to hit that number way closer than that. I'm going to figure out exactly how much clearance I want, and I will size the rod accordingly. A tenth this way or the other, you know. It tells me how wide the rod actually is. When I was talking about resizing, this is what I'm doing here. I'm going to make this nice and round and straight, perfect. It gives me the torque, 45 to 50. I'm going to do 50. I like the big number on these. It even tells me what size the bolt is. I can see what size they are. What else? Center to center distance, 7.937. This is a long, long rod. A small block Chevrolet 350 has a 5.7 inch rod. But the stroke on a 350 5.7 is 3.484. Everyone says 3.5, but it's actually, if you grind them, you gotta get a little closer than that. The stroke on this bad boy is 4.625. I gotta keep it in the frame there. Quite a bit longer stroke. So the reason that stroke is so long is because think of like moving a rock in your yard with a long lever. The longer the lever, the easier it is to move. The same with the rod. So what happens is on a long stroke, you want this thing to be off center and start the crank rotation down when it fires. So it has a better torque angle on the crankshaft and pushes a lot harder, really effectively. That's why when you build a hot rod engine like a small block Chevy, you want to put a 6-inch rod in it. So anyways, let's get going here. Get to going. So this is my sun and pin press. Get you over here closer. Or let me tell you, this filming's a pain in the butt sometimes. Okay, and let me get you over here. How's that? So we just turn it on, lever, and I'm just going to send this down. Yeah, you can see the bottom there. Here it comes, slowly, slowly. Where is it going to hit? There we go. Make sure you have your glasses on. Just like that, I'll do them all. Last one. This is going to get a lot of comments probably. I'm going to get a little redneck on you here. I left my soft jaws at home. I have a garage at home, obviously. And I took them home and I forgot they're at home. So here's what I'm doing. I didn't want to put it against the jaws. This is just a couple 2x4s. See? You got to improvise. Actually, you got to get a hammer. There's one. Now, I'm going to use this tool. You cannot push these bushings out. They're swedged in. They're not steel backed. If a rod bushing is not steel backed, then we swedge them. When I install them, I'll show you how we swedge them. It kind of just locks them in there. So there ain't no way to press this out. You got to chisel it out like caveman style. This is how everybody does it. That's how I do it. It's got to be right if I do it, right? Glasses again. And just kind of whittle at this thing and chop a little pieces out at a time. Hard to see in there. Just kind of just work around and claw it out of there. We're just clawing it out of there. I'm going to have to resharpen this bit. Hang on. There we go. And I'll probably put a big gouge in here. I hope I am, because it doesn't matter. Actually, I hope I'm not, but there comes it. Ta-da! So get you on hyperlap and do them all. You don't need all these fancy tools. You just need some 2x4s. They'll keep you warm in the winter too. This is what that looks like. See, I just kind of just rolled that out of there. And the rods are machined. Oh, that don't show up on camera. They're really, really rough. So when I swedge them, it's going to just push it into that rod. They ain't coming out. So I'm going to get these clean. They look like crap. I get this in the oven, 350 for 45 minutes. Make sure you don't burn it. No, I'm not putting them in bolts in the oven. Just being a dumb dork, I guess. So I'm going to put the rods in the washer, get them washing, and then I'll throw them in the glass beater. I will throw them, by the way. That's how I do it. And get them cleaned up, and then we'll come back. You guys don't want to watch me glass bead. Say no. Okay. There you go. Now we can machine them safe. Look how much offset this rod has. See how there's more material on this side than the other side? Oh, now it's on the other side. Hey, I'm going to go home. I've had enough of you guys today. So I will see you in the morning. Hey, wait. Bear wanted to say goodnight. Say goodnight. He's ready to go home. Want to go home? Hey, good morning, buddy. How you doing, huh? Happy Wednesday! How we doing today? Got some work to do before we get back on the Dodge. Bear, get in here. Where do you think you're going? Come on, go get in your spot. Here we are, next morning. Hey, whenever you work on something old like this, it's got a lot of rust in it, you got to keep it oiled, because that rust will come right up through this fresh surface. It's impregnated into it. Look at this Chevy cruise head that came in. Look at that big crack. I don't think that thing's going to do much cruising today. See you over in the rod department. Okay. See how this thing's feeling this morning. Ready? Bam! Wow! You guys got to get one of these. But you have to get glasses because they won't sell them to stupid people. So you put these glasses on and go in there. They'll sell them to you because they think you're smart. Hey! I keep getting in the comments something about Bob. Can somebody enlighten me up here? Thanks. Hey, David put the flathead in the machine, and I forgot to file it. Well, I didn't forget to file it. I'm over there doing the rods. Measuring the pistons. So I just got a couple files here. And we're just going to file them like I did yesterday. Just knocking this edge off. This edge is deadly sharp. Deadly sharp. If somebody decks the block like anything, I deburr everything. Not everything. I'm lying to you. I got a little round one here because there's one little spot right here. There you go. Okay, he's measuring the pistons. We measure every piston that comes through here, every job. We measure every single one. We had some, the 302 pistons we were working on. There were, one of the pistons was 2/10 smaller than the rest. 3/10, sorry, 3/10. He does an excellent job. Check out his channel, David S. Butler. There'll be a link in my main page. Okay, so I got the rods laid out. I'm going to hit them on the sides to make sure there's no burrs or anything on here. Then it goes into this cutter. Grinding wheel, safety glasses. I'm going to keep saying that. This thing cranks up by the thousands. So I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut the rod in the cap. The hole will get smaller. Now I get to hone it back to standard, make it round and straight again. So here we go. I'm going to do one, and then we'll go to hyperlapse. Don't forget these. This is not precision. Just get rid of the burrs. I don't know if you could see that. Where are you at? I just sanded this. Now I'm going to sand this. This is going to sit square in my cap cutter with this. That's it. how well this shows up. But I sanded this and there's still a little bit of a burr there. I want to get rid of all the burrs because this has to sit flat in that cutter or else it's going to just be wanky. Okay, now we're ready to cut them. Somebody put a camera in my way. It's going to be really hard for me to do. I can do it. Okay, now it's clamped in there tight. And I'm going to come over here across the stone. Let me lower you down here. Look at that. Fancy camera work, huh? Okay. Doesn't hit. Turn it on. Now I'm going to go till I just see sparks and hear it hit. There you go. A little bit of light there. See that? It didn't seem like it was down in the bottom. Check it again. That wasn't a very big cut at all. That's pretty good for a witness. Now I'll add 2 thousandths and cut it. Last pass here, we go real slow across there, make it nice and smooth. Okay, let's get it out and see how we did. Look at there, nice and flat, not rough anymore. Now we have to chamfer it. So take it over here. I'm just going to bump it on here now just to break this edge. We want to break this edge so it's not sharp. We put the bearing in, it'll peel off the back of the bearing if this is sharp. So this is real simple here. I'm just going to bump it. Can you see that? I just broke that edge right there. So I'll put you back on the hyperlapse. You guys hang on. Here we go. So here we go. I'm just cutting them one by one, starting off with the caps, making sure they clean all the way across. Some of these will have to cut again if they don't clean all the way across. So onto the rods, cutting them one at a time. And now we're all done with that and chamfering the caps. Remember, it'll scrape that bearing if we don't chamfer it. Okay, last one. Touching these. Here we go. There we go. I don't know if that shows up good. There's the caps. Now let's press them bolts in. Okay. These go almost all the way in. Look at that. So I'm going to show you how that one went all the way in. This one got a little press. Let me turn it on. Actually, David turned it on for me. And I'm just going to pop it in. That's it. No pressure. You don't want to use any force on it. Okay, so that slid in there. These old engines, they don't have a lot of press fits sometimes, which is fine. Small block Chevy, Fords, whatever. You got to really press those in to get them in. These, I'm going to do it like this. Doesn't hurt anything. So this is how I'm going to put these bushings in. I've taken a cartridge roll, wherever it is, just a cartridge roll on a die grinder. I just broke the leading edge here, had a real sharp edge. I've oiled it, just some random oil, I don't know what's in here, some kind of oil, something slickum something. So there's a hole, a slot, usually there's just a hole, look at that big area. Usually there's a little hole and you got to just really try, it's not that hard to eyeball it, but that's when you could be off by a country mile, because they give you just a big old wide spot to put the oil hole. This is just splash oiling. So what we're going to do, here we go with the comments maybe. I'm going to take a hammer. Yes, this is. And now I'll press it. Go ahead in the comments, tell me about how you have this R321 super duper driver tool to do what I just did with a hammer. You guys in the comments are funny. Hey, I just want to show you one thing. I am going to press these in. If you were at home putting these in yourself, which you couldn't finish them unless you had my rod machine. But look, this isn't precision work. I'm just beating it in there. See that? With a hammer. This is how everybody else does it, I guess. This is how I do it too. I just screw around with a hammer. Because this isn't really, anybody can do this. Anybody can do what I do. Just, it takes practice. Everything clean and ready now to reassemble the rods. These rods have a lock washer on them. Typically, nothing has a lock washer. The mains also have lock washers, just old school technology. These have to go back on the same ones that they came off of. Even though I'm resizing them, they're still not exactly going to fit right. I have put caps together that didn't fit a rod on really rare stuff, but it was a lot of work. So I'll put you on hyperlapse. Then I'm going to torque them. I'm just going to put you on hyperlapse the whole time. Forgot to mention, you got to oil the fasteners. You'll see me oil them. Put a little oil on here or you won't get the right torque value. Now we're ready. Here we go. Here we go. I'm matching up the rods to the caps. They're all numbered. I know where they go. I'm getting them all lined up here. Oil them all. Get the washers and the nuts on them one by one. It's really important to get oil on those, like I said. Now I'm running them down with my gun. I'm working these for 50 pounds. Nice and slow. Don't jerk the torque wrench. Listen. Click it twice. These already clicked once. Now I'm going to sand this, I don't have to, but I'm going to. And I got to touch these again to make sure now they're perfectly parallel while they're bolted together, both sides. There you go, I got them ready to hung. This is that surface. It doesn't really matter, just so long as there's no burrs. It does matter, but it's got a pretty wide tolerance that you're allowed. And then, like I said, I did sand this side, just because that's who I am. Makes it look better, doesn't it? Another day on this Dodge rod video. It looks like I gotta do some LS heads. Oh, we'll be back tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Morning. Let's get on them rods. Now I gotta finish these rods. This is my Sunnin rod machine. It's got a gauge here. Tells me how much I got to hung. There's a foot pedal down here that I step on to engage this and make it turn. So we'll start out with the rough ones. And it just goes in here and it expands out when I push on that pedal. Makes this mandrel get bigger. So it just pops in there. Yeah, this side's got shoes, brass shoes. The shoes are pretty worn out, especially this lead one. So, I got some new ones. I use stuff till it's just about nothing left of them anymore. Look at my shoes. I think I got pretty good use out of these, huh? So the way I do this is these loosen. Hope I'm not in the way. Hope you can hear me. I don't have a mic. I got a David. You guys should get yourself a David. He's a hell of a guy. He's come out. This one got so worn I actually cut a groove in it with a die grinder. So these. Had a big old bite off of that. So these go in here. They just slip in. They're round in the ends here. See how this is round? Right there. I don't know if that shows up good. They're round. So they go in here. Yeah. Now we have to set them. We do this on every time we do a set of rods, even if you just did a set. So this goes on here. I crank this up. Okay. Well, guys, I don't know if you know how many times I clean my cameras. Now I have this hammer, and we're going to just tap on this. What that just did is set the curvature to the diameter of the rod. This rod has it'll do 200 thousandths, 2 inches to 2 inches, 200 thousandths. So you have to adjust them between those sizes. So now that I've got those where I want them, I got a lot of tension on it. I don't have my foot on the pedal. The machine's holding it for me. So we'll just lightly snug these down. Now we'll do a final tighten. These don't have to be really tight. They get a pretty good pinch in there. You see guys over tighten these all the time. I see a lot of machinists that I've trained, had to retrain most of them, just over tighten the shit out of everything. Okay, now the shoes are set to the radius of the rod. Now, get oil all over my stuff here. Where are we at? Oh, let me back up a little bit. There we go. I've already set this gauge with my Minotaur mic. Made in Japan, good mic. Oh, talking about people over tightening things. This lock right here, I've seen people just reef it over. That lock doesn't do anything. You just lightly, just a little light pressure on that. This thing spins in and out. And so let's see how much we have to hone. Remember I said I cut 2 off of the cap, 2 off of the rod? So we got 3.5 on that one. So let me get to honing here. So this thing isn't set right, I already know that. Look what the rod will do. Watch, it's gonna go up and down. See how it goes up and down? Up and down, up and down. You wouldn't believe how many people I know. Well, I know a lot of people. How many people I know that don't know this about this machine. I worked with a guy years ago that he'd been machining almost as long as I had. He didn't know this thing did this. So it tells you on this side over 2.2, under 2.2. So we got to spin this, and that'll change the offset of this thing. There we go. That just goes in. There's just a rod in here that gets activated when the pedal gets pushed on. It hooks on the side. So it goes in sideways. I don't know if you're on camera. My hands are oily. I know that Mandrel's on camera. There we go. I think I'll put you on the other side to get started this. I decided to leave you here so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to get this rod to a thou to go. So watch how it don't go up and down anymore. These are a little bit rough when you get a new stone. You got to kind of break them in. You got to feed up, hear it bouncing. Feed up into it slow so those shoes can, kind of like getting a new pair of shoes like I got, remember? You got to break them in. They hurt your feet in a couple days, right? At least me. Well, I work. Some people don't work. There it goes. Now it's toning nice. Let's see how much we did. We didn't really do anything. The zero's over here. I'll get you a closer shot of that later in the video. We took about 4/10 out of that rod. So now here we'll just go some more. There's a dial indicator I'm watching here. It tells me how much I'm removing. It'll say a thou, but it'll only be half. You gotta keep flipping that rod. Let me tell you, I don't know many people could do a rod this size. This is the #1 thing that machinists screw up. They can't do rods. And I don't know why. You just gotta just pay attention. Now we're 1.5. So we're gonna go another half. This is not critical. I'll just get somewhere around 1. That's 1 and 3. Sneaking up slow, seeing how these rods act. all materials hung differently, work differently. And this old iron, it's got some old iron in it. They're 9/10. So this one will get the smooth stones. So put it on hyperlapse. I'll get them all to thou to go, and then we'll bring you back. Here we go, taking my time, sneaking up on that thou to go slowly. Keep flipping that rod. Flipping that rod. Now I'm resetting the shoes again. Keep going. About got them all to a thou to go. Okay, now they're all a thou to go. So this is, I mean, it would work fine. A little bit rough. Let me change out this stone. Sorry. I'm getting really tired of editing. Where are we at? I'm wearing safety glasses. You've got to wear safety glasses. So now, I'm going to readjust that curvature of these shoes again. But they're broken in. They're going to change just a little bit. Not much. This is barely going to make them move probably. But might as well make them perfect, right? That's what I'm here to do. This is the last time that this gets used for a hammer. Now it's got to be a rod again. And a couple foul there. It would have hung just fine. That ain't how I roll. Roll. Okay. Now, thou to go. Here we go. We're going to finish this rod and then we'll finish the rest of them on hyperlapse. Got to work that whole stone. I challenge any machinist out there to size a rod properly. They just don't have it. You guys got them power stroke machines? Those things ain't worth the metal they're made of. The rod gets hung up in the power stroker and it puts the jaws offset. So now you're making rods that are cut like a French fry. Not a French fry. A green bean. French cut green bean. Here we go. 10. Let's see what we did. Right on the zero. Right on the zero. That's across the thrust face. Pretty damn straight. We got about a tenth out around 1/10 of 1/1000th. Let's finish them. Okay, let's see how we did. We already know how I did. Or I do. 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. This thing will move. Just a little bit of material on there will make it move just ever so slightly. But it's round. Now if you get production rods, they'll set the 0 at the low end of the tolerance and they'll tell them to go to 0 and go a little past, just a little past. My rods are spot on. Wait, I didn't set this one. Hold on, one more. Boy, I hope this one ain't screwed up. 0! Like it'd be screwed up. It just snuck up behind me. Hey bear. We're gonna have lunch now. See you after lunch. Okay, now I gotta take these fingers off here. This one's black and this one's different color. This one's held on the top. Now I'm just gonna, this is that lock I was telling you, don't over tighten. It's just barely, it's not even tight. So I'm gonna just run this down, get it close, and then I got a way to set it. Watch this 0 right here. Whoops. So now let me set it. Hang on. This is my setting fixture. Just put a pin in it, another pin in it. Just tighten this down. Tighten it pretty snug. Now I back it off just a little bit. Now I feel the pins. Feels about right. Okay, so remember I set it on 0, so it looks like we got about 7 thousandths to remove from these bushings. Okay, so I set the gauge. 3/10. I'm gonna give them 3/10 clearance. 3/10 and a few other little numbers in the back. Okay, I didn't film this, but I took a deburring tool, I went around the pin, and then I took a sanding roll just to break the edges. You don't have to do it, but I have to do it. That's how I do it. We gotta change out that manual. I got something special here. This is called a pin roller. And it has a little ball right here that will expand out when I put my foot on the pedal. And I'll go around, I'm gonna swedge these in. Now these are, you can't do this on a steel backed bushing. You have to do it on a solid bushing. That pushes it in there and just really makes it hang on. I'm going to change this out. You guys don't need to see that. We're ready. Oil. Still uses oil. This thing will throw little pieces of debris. So here we go. I'm just going to do it just a little bit. Show you what we got going on. So I'm just going into here and just pushing it out. Pushing it out. Watching the gauge. That should be about 2 thou, I think, maybe. Hard to say. Let me look here. Yeah. So, you guys don't need to see me do this, you just saw it. So I'll get them done. So I changed the mandrels. I have a truing sleeve for this, to dress this shoe. That just goes on there like a rod. Turn the pressure all the way down to 1, because I'm going to be hanging on to this. I'm not even holding it, I'm going to let it spin out of my fingers. There, see? It spun out of my fingers. Now I know where it's at. Now I can just carefully hit both ends. This is a long one. This one came with a short one, but this long one I like it better because I can just really overstroke. I can fix it just real quick with a long one. There, that's it. Now we get the rod. Okay. And I just hone it like any other rod. Any other rod I use. I don't know about you guys out there. So I'm not going to bore you with all this honing because you already got bored maybe with the other honing. I'll just show you when I'm done. I'll switch to a finer stone. This is a rough stone. I'm going to go to the fine stone just like on the big ends. I just took 4 thousandths out of this pin. See, the wedge rings are still in there. They're going to go away. I got 3 to go. I hope that shows up. That looks pretty good there. I'm all done. This is how I fit pins, by hand. I feel them. I got that gauge. I set that gauge because I used that roller. Let's check one here. That, 3/10. That's what we wanted. So I'll get them rods out, get them hung. We're just about done. Getting that head surface, cam bearings, grease plugs. This old beast is about ready to leave the shop. And I can't wait to hear it run. I'm not an installer. I'm not even putting it together. I'm going to put the valves in it for him, but he's going to assemble it. So thanks for coming along, and you guys come back and see me again. Okay? Appreciate you. Bye.